In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys 5 lessons that I wish I knew sooner and unfortunately had to learn the hard way. So hopefully I can prevent you guys from making some of the same mistakes that I did in the past. Starting off with number 1, don't give women your time, especially low value women, because when we give women our time and our attention, we're losing our own time and attention to ourselves. We're not focusing on ourselves. We're not grinding on ourselves, which is what we need to be doing. We need to be grinding and focusing on ourselves. And us giving away time is very valuable. You see, time is one of the most valuable things in the world because you can't make time. You can make money, you cannot make time. You cannot get time back, especially in your youth. So, bro, these girls aren't going nowhere, bro. Focus on yourself, then worry about the girls a little later down the line. But you've got to get your life sorted first. But yeah, I remember the times when back in the day I used to be on Snapchat, quick adding girls, messaging her, yo, what's up, chatting them up. Sad as fuck, for real. Like, I could have been doing so much better shit with my time, and I probably would have gone further in life. I probably would have made more progress in life at this stage if I wasn't wasting my time chatting to girls on Snapchat and just stupid shit like that. I said in one of my videos before, I'm pretty sure it was the girlfriend effect video, that I was in a long distance relationship for about 7 months. Something I'd never regret to anyone, unless you know you're gonna meet her at some point, like give it maybe a few weeks or even a couple months. But I was in a long distance relationship for 7 fucking months and still hadn't met her yet. Bro, because I live in London, right? I live like outskirts of North London. So I'm not exactly in I'm like 10 minutes away from North London, pretty much is what I'm trying to say, right? She lived in fucking Birmingham. What was I doing, bro? And she just, she didn't have the best life and shit went wrong and all this, and it drained me. It really did drain me because of all the bad shit that was going on in her life. And for 7 months, 8 months, because I still had feelings for her after we split up, right? So for nearly a year I just wasn't even focusing on myself. I didn't even know myself. I was just like lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. It wasn't the best time for me, but I got by. And as much as I did waste a lot of time, it was very worth it because the amount of lessons and knowledge I gained from those 7 months, if I wasn't in that relationship, I wouldn't be the man I am today. So I'm very grateful I had that relationship because it taught me a lot, but it was a lot of hell. I'll be so real. But if you guys want to hear the full explanation and the whole reason of why you should not be chasing women, check out this video now on screen where I explain it in further detail. Number 2, stop chasing popularity, social status, and clout, because you be chasing it from the complete wrong people. 98% of the popular kids do drugs, party, have casual sex. You see, most of these kids live in the moment. They want to live in the present and care about their present more than the future, which is the worst thing you should do. One of the first rules of self-improvement and being on a self-improvement journey is to care about your future more than your present, because your present only lasts for seconds. Your future lasts for decades. You know what I mean? In conclusion, a lot of humans are shitty and set off a bad example. So remember to always have a small, tight circle of friends and people that you can rely on when you're in trouble, because these kids are gonna fuck you up if you become friends with them. If you become friends, you're not gonna be friends with these kids. These kids are just gonna use you and just turn you into one of them, turn you into a little fucking druggie that just has hangovers every day. Like, it's not worth it. But I remember the days where I didn't try too hard, I guess, but I tried to like fit in with people because I wanted to be seen as cool and shit, and it was just cringe, for real. Like, honestly, now I'm older and I've matured, I've really realized that the less popular you are in school, the better, as long as you have respect. If you were to ask anyone in my school, what would they describe me as? They would describe me as the quiet but like kept to himself and respected guy. I was a quiet kid, right? I kept to myself. I was quite private. I have social anxiety. I was shy, especially back then. I was even worse, right? But I was always nice to people. I always treated people with respect. So after a while, obviously I was picked on in my like younger years. I was never bullied, but I was always picked on. But luckily, as the years went on, everyone in my year was a nice person. So because they knew I was so respectful towards everyone just showed me respect. So luckily I got let off nicely and I didn't have to like prove myself, like get in a fight just to scare everyone to not mess with me. But if you was to ask someone in my school what they would describe me as, it would probably be like the quiet, nice, kept to himself kid that was respected. But yeah, the reason why I bring that all up, because it did sound like a bit of waffle, is because you don't got to be popular in school. The more popular in school, the more likely you're going to turn out worse. So stay away from the crowd, but make sure you gain respect from everyone. That's all you need in school to survive. Because if you don't have respect from everyone and you're a quiet kid, then you're going to get bullied. Then you're going to get picked on. So make sure to do what I did, especially in like the last couple years when I completely just didn't care about popularity anymore. Kept away from the crowd, let them do their thing, talk to them as friends, I guess, but always keep them at a distance. And just be respectful, man. Just be respectful to everyone. That's a life lesson. If you want to be respected, you have to be respectful towards them. But yeah, if you want to see a video on why hanging around the right people is so important in much more detail, check out the video on screen now that I made a few weeks ago. Number 3 is being grateful for literally everything good that you have in your life. Even the fact that you get to God has given you another day to live on this earth and is allowing you to breathe in fresh air. Because once you switch to that zen calm mindset, you'll hardly ever get mad or sad again. Because if you do get that sensation to be mad or sad, you can just remind yourself of all the things you're grateful for. Okay, this has sort of upset me a little bit. This has sort of made me a little bit angry. Let me remind myself of why I shouldn't be complaining and why I should be grateful, because complaining is never the answer, right? There's a difference between like protesting's obviously that's good, right? People did that, women's voting and all that. But I'm talking about like casual complaining, because people get misunderstood when I say complaining. They think like, oh, so we just have to like deal with the matrix. No, I mean like stop complaining like negatively, like, oh, I don't want to do this today, because there's no positive doing that, right? And also, when you have that zen calm mindset, you think to yourself, there's millions of people around the world in a worse situation that I am in today. I'm complaining because I've lost my fucking sock while there's someone getting bombed in Afghanistan. You know what I mean? Like, be grateful for what you have. The full explanation to why being grateful is so important and having gratitude is so crucial is on screen now. Number 4, do not give anyone your time if they don't deserve it. Like fucking hell. The amount of times I've given a bunch of different people so much respect, so much time, putting so much effort in a person just to not get anything, like hardly anything, if not anything back, is a madness. If this happens to you, cut this person out, whether it's a friend, girlfriend, family member, cut them out immediately, because just like women, you shouldn't give these people your time, because if they're not showing you love and respect and support and everything positive, then fuck them. I mean, it's quite easy for me to cut people out of my life, even people that I've been very close to. The amount of people that I've cut out of my life is crazy, and that's just what happens, especially when you get older and go on the self-improvement journey. You start to lose a lot of people, and I'm actually okay with that, because I know that I'm better without those people anyways. And to be honest with you, like, I'm not trying to sound like I have an ego or something, but I've just generally given a don't give a fuck mentality, and just, I don't care. Like, I don't care about people enough. Like, if you do me wrong more than once, like, obviously I'll give you one chance to redeem yourself, but then if you do shit wrong, you just go fuck yourself, you know what I mean? And naturally, I am quite an introvert. I have always been. I was a late talker. I didn't like fully talk till I was like 3. So I think that kind of like fucked me up in a way, making me extra nervous, social anxiety. So I've always been quite an introvert, always kept to myself, and always loved my alone time. So it's always been quite easy to cut people out of my life. It's not too much of a big deal to me than it is probably to other people. Finally, and most importantly, number 5, our last fact, is to understand how fucked up the world is. It sounds depressing, but it's really true. Once you learn and educate yourself on who has control and power over the money and the world, you'll come to the realization that, oh shit, life's fucked. Life is unfair, and you wouldn't be wrong. Life is unfair, but life isn't just unfair to you. Life is unfair to mostly everyone. So we can use that to our advantage to make sure we are working harder than everyone else. So we can have our own power and leverage, because power and leverage is everything. Gaining the triple M's I always talk about: money, muscle, and mindset. If we work hard, gain those, then life won't be so unfair. This is why self-improvement is so important to men and women, obviously, and should be taught to us as soon as we're able to talk and understand what people are saying. Like, I'm serious. Like, people like, oh, you know, I don't have to be too harsh on my kid. I can like teach my kid at like 16 or something. Like, the thing is, a lot of stories are, okay, you've lived a degenerate life for like 20 years, and then 21 you switch, and then you suddenly self-improvement. And even if you become successful, bro, think if you manage to get successful starting at 21, think of how successful you can get starting at 5, right? And I'm not speaking about like fucking hardcore shit at like a toddler age. Obviously do shit that's on their level, and then gradually raise it up. That's how you create smart kids and smart children. And that's why I believe when I have kids, my kids are gonna be one of the best kids in the world. Not even me being biased, but I generally just think like the mentality I have. Obviously, I'm only 16 years old. I'm very young. In fact, I'm too young to have children at this age, and I'm not ready. But once I'm a grown up, once I've experienced and learned even more shit, I generally feel like I'm gonna be the best dad, man. I'm gonna teach my kids from young on self-improvement and how important it is. My kids are not going to be spoiled in comfort. My kids are gonna be uncomfortable sometimes. My kids have to be uncomfortable or they won't grow. Me, I love my parents. My parents have done very good parents, done a lot for me, but I wasn't raised hard enough. I was brought up quite softly, I was brought up quite soft. And I feel like if I was raised just a little bit harder, a little bit harsher, maybe not harsher as fact, but for them to educate me on why self-improvement is important, then I would have been even better than I already am today. But if you want a full video on me talking about the Matrix and how unfair the world is, you can check out the video on screen now where I go in better detail. I am sorry for like plugging all these videos that I've made, but I really just want you guys to get the full context of these like lessons that I'm teaching you, so you don't miss anything out. Because there's a lot that I've missed out on purpose in these videos because I've already explained them before. So yes, those were my top 5 lessons that I really wish I knew sooner and didn't have to go through stupid fucking shit to figure them out. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video and learned a lot, and do not make the same mistakes that I have done, because I made a lot of mistakes in my time. Do not forget these lessons. Hopefully you've taken them in, because you won't believe how successful these lessons will make you if you treat them in the right manner. Thank you boys for watching, as always, and peace. Love, love, love.